Drinking too much of this in labour can be harmful for you and your baby and accounts for a lot of the claims that NHS Resolution gets because of the impacts both on mums and babies. So it's important that throughout your labour you should be aiming for about 2.5 litres in total over that 24 hours. That's both water, isotonic drinks, anything that gives you a bit of energy, as well as any fluids that are also going into your veins as well. So it's the total combination of all fluid intake over a 24-hour period. That can be herbal teas, coffees, anything that you have ingested from a fluid perspective. But there is a problem that is called hyponatremia that can happen from excessive fluid intake. And hyponatremia is one of the biggest avoidable claims within maternity services, because what hyponatremia is low sodium levels. So what happens is your sodium levels drop within your blood, and what that can also do is then drop the sodium levels in your growing baby. And then what happens is that can cause seizures and fits in the woman and the mother, and it can cause seizures and fits in the baby when born, and it can cause a brain injury to happen from the oxygen deprivation that happens. So one of the things that we do as midwives is we monitor your fluid intake. We do a fluid balance chart, what's going in and what's coming out. We see how much you're drinking within labour and birth. We have jugs, for example, that we will give to you and see how quickly you are drinking them or how slowly you are drinking them. We will be asking you how much you are drinking, particularly if you're at home for those early labour stages too. And a lot of the claims that come through NHS Resolution are because it's a combination of intravenous fluids. So that might be fluids relating to things like having the hormone drip for labour and birth. It might be that you're on a sliding scale because of diabetes, for example. And in combination with that, the mum drinking as well on top. And then those two things combined create too much fluid in the body, creating those low sodium levels. However, I do have to acknowledge the case studies that have come from home births, but also from birth centres as well, where women have not had any intravenous fluids at all, and they've drank 4, 5, 6 litres throughout their labour and then had these problems. All pregnant women should be drinking fluids to thirst, and they should be getting up to 2.5 litres over the course of a 24-hour period, but they shouldn't be excessively drinking more than that. The symptoms of hyponatremia during labour can be hard to spot: headaches, tiredness and nausea. And in the late stages it causes agitation, disorientation, seizures, problems with reflexes. It can cause a lot of problems, and in the worst case scenario, seizures and potentially intensive care unit admission and potentially a coma. And this is why midwives will monitor your fluid intake in labour and ask you what you are drinking and note down how much you are drinking and also how much you are weeing. So to conclude, too much dihydrogen monoxide can cause harms in both mums and babies. Drink to thirst, no more than 2.5 litres including any intravenous fluids. Your midwife will be monitoring this, and if you can, mix it up with things like isotonic drinks and peppermint herbal teas, for example, and that will give you the energy that you need in labour and birth too. It's great that we have so much antenatal education to raise the fact that women need to be hydrated in labour. Hydration in labour is great, but too much will kill you.